Hello, Cancer, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, guys, I really want to apologize for getting this out so late. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do it, but I just wanted to make sure that every sign got their mid-month only because I've never skipped a sign in my entire time here, and I don't want to start now. So, I want to say thank you to you guys. The reason that I actually am late on these is because with the last set of readings that I put out for March, it really just took off. So many new people found me, so many people were showing love, and literally over, like a few nights I woke up and there was hundreds of emails, of DMs. So I'm slowly getting through it, guys. So if you're waiting on any questions to be answered, just be very patient. And I'm talking about the answers that you purchased for me, tarot wise. And if you guys are waiting on a 30-minute reading, I'm definitely going to get those out very, very soon. And if I am late on a 30-minute reading, I always give a shitload of freebies, so don't worry about it, guys, okay? All right, Cancer. So let's see what's going on. All right, so this is kind of going to be like an end of March sort of reading. So we'll see what's going on now. I do want to backtrack a bit. So we're going to do about March 15th to April 15th. And we'll see what's going on with y'all. Now, this is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And keep in mind, guys, that the energy can be transferable. So it could be something that you're doing or feeling, or that someone else close to you is feeling. Okay. Now, if you guys are on Instagram, High Vibrations 44, I'm always posting daily energies, so you guys can check it out. And I'm always posting when I'm going to, or the reading order, rather, for every month. So if you want to know when your sign is going to be posted, that's how you know. All right, so let's see what's going on. The sign of Cancer, March mid-month. Oh my God, I feel like I need such a good chiropractor. I just want my back just cracked. If you guys know anyone near Tampa, Florida, y'all let me know. Get a sister the hookup. All right, so let's see. So we have your past, present, and then we have your future. All right, guys, let's talk about it. All right, so the energy that we have here is the Ten of Swords in the reverse. So in this case, if there was anything that was, very heavy on you, something that felt like a betrayal, something that felt like just a heavy or sudden ending, then this is a sense of you coming out of that sort of feeling, coming out of those emotions. So if you were feeling like, a huge weight on something, just know that the worst is already behind you, okay? Now we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse and the Knight of Swords in the reverse. So this could have been in regards to maybe secrets that came out, things that were revealed where somebody was, doing something out of recklessness. All right. But there is balance if there was something that you had to move away from. All right. You have the Six of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and you have the Temperance card here in the reverse. So whatever even made you feel this way to begin with, I don't feel that it was something that was conventional for you or your life. All right. Now let's go back into your past. The first card that we have is the Queen of Wands in the reverse. And for anyone interested, this is the Wild Unknown Tarot, okay? So with the Queen of Wands in the reverse, could have been a fire sign that you were dealing with, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, but anyone can take on this energy, guys. This is going to be when someone's really pissed off about something, someone's really in diva mode, someone's just doing, they're doing the most. They're just really out of their element. Why is this Mother of Wands in the reverse here? We have the Three of Wands. And we have the Devil card in the reverse. So if this was a situation where it made you angry, or maybe somebody else had really heightened emotions, in this case, because with the Three of Wands, it could mean either that we turn our backs on something to expand, or that we're kind of looking and waiting for something to come in so that we can expand with it. In this case, I feel like you guys most likely turned your back on something that brought about these feelings, only because it shows that you're removing yourself from something toxic. So I feel like you guys had to just, really take a direction that was going to be less problematic than what you may have had in your life at that time. All right. And yeah, I do feel like you guys made the right decision here, or at least knew what the right decision was with the High Priestess. This is someone who's all knowing. When this card comes up for you, it's saying that you're in a place that you don't need like solid proof, about what it is that you feel in your gut. Your gut is the truth. Okay. So if you feel like something's off with a person, it is. If you feel like someone's lying to you about something, they probably are. Okay. So let's see why this High Priestess is here. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So with you knowing the truth of something and you being aware of it, you feel a loss. Whether it be just an emotional loss, or maybe it was something financial too, because Pentacles is literal money as well, but a loss of some sorts. All right, let me get one more card here. Hierophant in the reverse. So yeah, guys, this was just something that was unconventional for you. Something that may not have worked out in the way that you wanted it to. Maybe you had a difference of opinion with the person, but in like a radical way in regards to like, when it comes down to like your morals, or maybe religious views, or maybe just spiritual views on this world. All right. And again, this is because somebody was acting recklessly. Now we do have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. So if it was with love, maybe it was due to promiscuity. Maybe you let something go and maybe you just wanted to get out there and try to forget, as best you can. But with the Knight of Cups, if it's not a promiscuous person, and I don't like saying promiscuous, if you're single, you're allowed to date. But definitely someone who could be dealing with more than one person romantically. Or it could be someone that is just not emotionally stable at that time. We have the Six of Swords. Yeah, so you moved away from this. It looks like the retrograde did some work on you guys, okay? Now with the retrograde, guys, it's like a purge. Things that don't belong in your life kind of can feel like they're getting ripped out of your life during retrograde. Now, do keep in mind it does end. I'm recording this March 27th. It ends tomorrow, March 28th. And then we have Venus going into Pisces, I believe. Or Pisces going into Venus, whichever way it is. I'm not the astrology guru. I just skim by things. But for the next month or so, until about like April 20 something, I believe, it's in favor of new opportunities and of good lasting love and things that are just going to be beneficial to the heart and to the soul. So I know that we may have come out of a tough time, and I feel like water signs, you guys are always taking a harder hit when it comes to the emotions, but things definitely do a 180. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Now we have the Tower card in the reverse. So with you turning your back on whatever you had to, moving away from whatever you had to, you dodged a bullet here. Simply, that's what it is. So it doesn't matter who did what, the universe is protecting you by you moving away from this. Empress card in the reverse. Something had to go. Okay. Now in the present moment, guys, the first card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. So this could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn that you're dealing with. And if it's not a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it could be you building something in a financial sense. And if it's not you building something financially, it could be just taking a very grounded and slow approach. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles may seem like the slowest knight sometimes because of how thorough they are with what they're getting themselves into. So sometimes they do take the longest, but most of the time it's with the least mistakes. Okay, so let's see why this Knight of Pentacles is here. You guys have the Ace of Wands. And we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So it's like someone's going through a very emotionally fulfilling and very passionate new beginning. But I feel like there's two energies here, okay? Where someone is just wanting to do what feels right. Someone wants to do what feels good for them, where they're not going to overexert themselves or do anything that just feels like unnatural. While there could be someone that's just pissed off about that. Or maybe you're going into something that feels better for you, but there could be a sense of bitterness from something that you've endured in the past, okay? It could be simultaneous too. Maybe your love life is fantastic and you're getting into, something great, but your mom is pissing you the fuck off and you're upset about that. So it could be a duality of, emotions that you feel here. Now, the center of this reading and what everything is going to tie into, the next card for your present moment is the Daughter of Swords in the reverse, which is a Page of Swords in the reverse in this case. So I love the Page of Swords. as a communicator, because I think it's the most honest communicator. I think it's the most clear cut and straight to the point. You know, you're not going to sugarcoat shit type of communicator. And when this page is in the reverse, yes, there's still that degree of honesty, but there's that unnecessary sense of hostility. Okay. So as opposed to saying to someone like, look, I just don't think this is working out. Like, you know, you were great and I had a good time. You know, let's just let this go. This person is going to say, listen, if you don't get your shit out of my house in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to key the fuck out of your car. So it's just like, okay, you know, they have the same message, but it's just how it's coming out. All right. So if it's not, you know, you having that tough conversation or that, you know, hostile conversation with someone, then it could be someone that just simply removes themselves. With a page in its reversal, it could just be that you stop talking to someone, or maybe someone stops talking to you. Why is this Page of Swords here in the reverse? Five of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Four of Wands. So although there could be some tough communication, whether it's you or another person, you just don't want to be burdened by it. Okay, let me pick these up, my nails. So these are, cuts me off sometimes, so here I am. So with these two cards, this is talking about, you know, wanting to avoid drama at all costs, not wanting to fight, not wanting to argue, not wanting to be petty, not wanting to compete. And with the Four of Wands, this is stability, but this comes either through someone that just removes themselves from a situation, especially verbally, or maybe someone is speaking in a very harsh way, but one of the parties involved is like, okay, I understand that you're upset, but I just don't have the energy to be this upset. So say what you gotta say, let me know when you're done. And I just want to chill. Like, I just don't want to be brought into this, you know? But it's definitely a situation that can kind of be debilitating on the spirit, on the soul. Okay, with that Strength card in the reverse. But something's not working, guys. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse is your next card for the present moment. Sorry, like 40 cards fell, so I'm not gonna acknowledge those. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, the Fool card in the reverse. So something that just wasn't going to be a good idea for y'all. Something that just wasn't going to be putting you on the path that you were meant to be on. Okay. Now, with the Eight of Cups in the reverse here, you want to be very careful. Because it shows that something from the past does come back in, or maybe you go towards something from the past. With the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, the Fool card in the reverse, the Empress card in the reverse, any tarot reader in this world will tell you this is not a good idea. Okay. So if, you know, if there's some sort of blast from the past coming in, you got to blast it back to the past, guys. All right. So I just don't see this as something that would be healthy. Lovers card in the reverse, Magician in the reverse. There'd be arguing. There'd be manipulation. Okay. It shows that you guys are really strong, you know, with, or become very strong with whatever it is that you move away from, where you're avoiding a lot of conflict, but you just need to focus on what's right for you and make sure that you're not coming out of one, you know, shitty situation to jump right into a new one. Okay, the retrograde's over. You don't have to do that anymore. Now, in the future, the first card here is the Two of Wands in the reverse. So if it's not you being on the path that you're not meant to be on, then it's just feeling lost in regards to what path should be taken altogether. Why is this Two of Wands in the reverse here? We have the Nine of Wands in the reverse. And we have the Nine of Swords. A lot of this is going to be mental, guys. Okay. I definitely see that, you know, it's human emotion, and it's normal for us to feel, you know, pain or stress when we're walking away from certain things. But the worst thing that we can do is cause stress and pain that doesn't need to be there by overthinking. With the Nine of Swords, this is you losing sleep at night. This is you really being in a place where you're probably creating scenarios in your head that don't even exist, to be honest. So you just feel like something's so tumultuous and like it's not right. Okay. And I feel a sense of stress here over the things in your life that you cannot control with the Chariot in the reverse. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Three of Swords in the reverse. So although there was something, guys, that was out of your control, you're still in a place where you're powerful within yourself. Okay? So it doesn't even have to be the heaviest of situations, but there's definitely a suppression of pain that you may feel about something. But there's that sense of, I couldn't have done anything to change this. So for that reason right there, try not to stay here. Try not to stay in that stress. Okay? That's the biggest thing that I always tell people. I'm like, there's only so much we can do in regards to the ones that we love and in regards to the things that we want in life. But if you're feeling, very heavy energy from someone else, or if you're feeling like something's not going to go the way that you want it to, then focus on what you can have go for you. Okay? What can you still manifest in life? What can you still create with your own two hands? What kind of situations can you still go into despite what you couldn't control? All right? So don't focus on that. Focus on what's possible. Okay? But there's definitely a sense of you feeling like something just wasn't going to be a success. We have the Hanged Man. And we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So honestly, guys, I really feel like you just get to a place where even if you are anxious about it for a bit, you're realistic with yourself. The Hanged Man, this is someone that it's like, yo, it is what it is. I understand that this person did that, or that, I might not have gotten my way. But I just have to be me, and I have to do what feels right to me. And I don't want to, bend over backwards for something that's not going to be feasible, that's not going to be promising. So this is an energy of a person that does not chase. They do not beg. They do not, endlessly worry about something that isn't going to work out. They just chill and they say, what will be, will be. Que será, será. All right? So it's that sort of thing where whether it's you or another person, someone is just very fed up. Someone has invested a lot in something and didn't get what they wanted out of it, whether it be a financial thing or whether it be, just a friendship or a relationship. But whatever it is that you guys feel was too much, that wasn't going to work, again, you're just going to have that nonchalant attitude. And you have the Eight of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of the deck now, and the World card. So two things happen here. One, you see shit for what it is. If there's any blindfold that you had on, you take it off. And you're ending a chapter, but the World card always means that a very good one is going to come in. So there could be some lingering of that Mercury retrograde effect on you guys, but it's definitely changing for the best. It's just whatever is causing the sense of recklessness, that's where I see the fallout happening. But look what happens once it does. The Wheel of Fortune. All right, so you guys, I want you to focus here. Let's drop all these other cards. This is what the focus needs to be. Wheel of Fortune in the world. This is for the best. You are going into a chapter that's going to be promising for you and that you're going to be happy in. So don't dwell too much on the door that's closing before you see what's behind the next one that you open, okay? Now, I'm going to pull you guys some cards of advice. And then I'm going to pull you guys an oracle card as well. So we'll see how all of this ties in together. Let's get 3 cards of advice for the sign of Cancer. March mid-month. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about this in a second. Let me put this to the side. I'm going to pull an oracle card from this oracle deck. So this is Oracle of Visions by Cyril Marchetti, if anyone's interested. What card of advice and guidance does the sign? Oh, all right, you guys got 2. Okay. Oh, you guys pulled one of my favorite cards. Okay. So you guys have number 46 and number 16 that came out for anyone who's into numerology. So let's look at this. Look, she matches my nails. Yay. All right. So let's see what this is about. 46. Okay. Connections, putting the pieces together, coming to conclusions. A young woman sits on a bridge, a physical and metaphysical connecting point between here and there. Her identity is initially concealed, not only to us, but also to herself. She is, in essence, finding her true self. She reaches out to gather pieces of a puzzle, and with each one finds clues and discovers more about herself. Each of us attempts to make sense of our place as we search for connections and relationships with others. Gradually, despite failures and experimentation along the way, an image starts to take form. Increasing clarity manifests itself from the initial confusion. The process is self-reinforcing and often becomes easier and accelerates as more pieces are added, each finding their corresponding place. Eventually, a point is reached where everything comes into focus and starts to make sense. Okay, so this is you guys honestly just, okay, I was kind of on like a road where the fog was so thick and I can only see like a foot in front of me. But now you see that that gap is widening and you're able to see more as you go down. You're able to drive yourself out of that fog. Now, with number 16, let's pull this up and talk about this. This is like one of my favorite cards. It really is. So, distance, isolation, and perspective. Physical distance or emotional detachment serve to give us a greater comprehensive view. Distance may also provide a clearer overall perspective than a close-up would. From this vantage point, we can often get the big picture and reach different conclusions. A solitary woman strolls a desolate beach, her isolation providing a point of reflection. Distanced from the influence of others, this is a scene of personal contemplation. The floating monoliths provide perspective and suggested distances with great emphasis than would an empty sky. Perhaps representing issues in her life, their distance reinforces her isolation, but may also provide her with the perspective and clarity of vision that she is seeking. We need to strike a balance when assessing a situation. Are we too closely involved or should we step back? So that's very interesting. So it's like you guys are really trying to figure out the truth of a situation or just get that clarity to know which path that you have to take. But with these 2 cards, which I feel beautifully, go together, you're going to have to distance yourself from it. You're going to have to do the best that you can to kind of remove yourself from the decision and look at it as, that outside perspective. Sometimes we're so deeply immersed in something and we don't take time to think, how would the world view this? Not that it matters what people think about you, but especially when it comes to like toxic relationships or just toxic environments, things like that, it really helps to be able to take that, out of body experience to assess how this truly makes you feel. So if you feel like you've heavily been in something and it's something that's been very tumultuous for you, truly take a step back, and I think the easiest way to do that, because it's easier said than done, is think of someone in your life that you love so dearly, like unconditionally, someone that like you can't get mad at for too long. So let's not use lovers because they could piss us the fuck off. Let's use like a grandparent or like our favorite cousin. Think of someone like that, someone that you absolutely adore. What advice would you give them if they were going through exactly what you're going through right now? Would you say, oh, that's great, suffer some more? Or would you say, look, baby girl, I love you, but this is fucking insane. Like, what are you doing? All right. So I know that a lot of the times we really just want to make excuses for people. We want to give people the benefit of the doubt beyond what they should be getting. But we have to be realistic. Is this us being compassionate and being the loving cancers that we are? Okay. Or is this a sense of us being scared to move away from something because we're more afraid of the pain of losing it than of the pain to endure it? Okay. And that's something, years ago when I went through something super heavy, I had to keep telling myself that, like, yes, Lissette, you feel like shit right now, but if you keep letting this back in, you're never going to stop feeling like shit. Okay? You have to start healing. And the moment you start healing, the day that you decide to walk away from this is the day that you can finally look towards a better future for you. Okay? Now, in regards to the energy, guys, it's the same sort of energy. Ace of Cups in the reverse. This is the bottom of the deck right here. Letting something go. Having to be strong here. Something being a waste of time and effort. Maybe it's a third-party situation in love. Maybe it's you having to fall out of a friendship with, maybe a group of people, or maybe just a person. Maybe this is something that has caused depression. Okay? But in regards to working on things and putting effort, saying it's a no-go. I'll pull you some clarifiers here, but yeah, I definitely see that something has to go, and that you really have to be honest with yourself about what it is that you have to let go of. We have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So off bat, if there's a place in your life where you're screaming and arguing and just, in a tumultuous sort of setting, I'm going to pull 2 extra cards for y'all. It's not going to work out, okay? Ace of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords in the reverse. Strength card. You're going to have to be resilient through this, guys. Okay? There's just a lot of reckless behavior here. For some of you, maybe this is with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, specifically. But you just really want to be realistic with yourself, grounded with yourself. And that earth energy could definitely help to ground you guys, where it's just like, is this something that can really nourish my life? Okay, with this pentacle energy, this is all about the nourishment of life, the ground that we walk on, the air that we breathe, just Mother Nature, all of that good stuff, having a home over your head, having, people and energies around you where people are down for you and people are, reliable. Okay, where you feel good not only, emotionally and physically, but monetarily too. Okay, is this helping you, the situation, to be this grounded person? Or is it kind of taking you away from that? All right, with this Emperor in the reverse, this is usually someone who's very fake and dishonest. In this case, guys, and I say this with absolute love, I feel like this is you with yourself. Okay, I feel like you're not being truthful with yourself about certain things, but for some of you, this will be that someone could have been manipulative and just kind of, using the authority that they feel they have to get one over on you. But again, we have to be real here. But yeah, for a lot of you, it definitely could have some sort of pentacle energy involved. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or maybe just the approach that you have to take. Again, that just very grounded approach. But this is what I don't like here. Okay, you guys have the King of Swords in the reverse, and this is my least favorite card, upright or in the reverse in the deck, only because it's abuse. It's mental, physical, emotional. It doesn't have to be all of them. It could be, a certain degree of them, but this is someone who's just really, really selfish and malicious and an asshole. And it's just like, this is someone that, it's like, what, I feel like shit today, so let me see how many people I can make feel like shit today. That's this energy, okay? The only other somewhat positive thing that this can mean is that you've been pushed to a place where you just can't take it anymore. You've been, mistreated or maybe overlooked. And this is the person who just finally, in an overdue manner, lashes back out. Who says, listen, fuck you. Excuse my language, but screw you. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I'm not getting anything out of this. I need to protect myself, and I don't give a fuck if I look like an asshole doing so. I'm not letting you do this to me anymore. So either way, it's bad. If this is someone acting this way, we don't want to deal with that energy. If this is someone making you feel this way, why would you want someone that can even provoke you and get you there? Okay? Listen, guys, we're always going to have triggers. There's not one person on this earth except maybe like Mother Teresa, and I'm sure she had her shit and she thought things in her head, but There's really no one in this world, honestly, that is going to always be good all the time. We all have our triggers. I'm a very light person, but there are certain people that do know what buttons to press. So you want to make sure that you have boundaries and that not only are you respecting people's buttons, but people are respecting yours. Okay? You don't want anything in life that is going to bring this out of you. All right? So whether it's a lover, whether it's a boss, this is so unhealthy. Okay? So get perspective, guys. Take a step back. Imagine this as your favorite cousin. Would you want this for them? Okay, would you want them to go through something that is so debilitating to the heart and to the soul? All right, and you really need to be kind to yourself. So things are switching, astrologically speaking, so that better circumstances come into our life. But for you guys specifically, there's going to be something very big that you have to release. And this is not going to be, oh, does she mean, the person that picks on me sometimes at school, or the person that looks at me in a bad way all the time at the grocery store? No, this is going to be somebody that really fucks with your shit. Like, this is someone who goes above and beyond anybody else to fuck with your shit. Okay? So stop letting people be that way. And if you're being this way, you have to ask yourself why. And even if, maybe someone gets cheated on and they turn into this person, okay? The reason why you have to do your best to not put yourself in this sort of position is because karma's real, okay? And just me, myself, and I've told you guys my stories in the past. I haven't done any like venting or like talk sessions in a while, but I have been through so much shit in the past. And there was a relationship that I was in right when I had my son. He was very young, and it was an extremely abusive relationship. So when I say I know what it feels like to be tired, to be so tired and so heartbroken and so worn out that you can't even cry anymore. It's like your tear ducts just they're depleted. Okay, you could have filled a reservoir with your tears. I vowed to myself after going through that I was never ever going to be in that position again. And that's exactly what happened. Okay, because after going through something like that, you acquire this self-worth. And I'm just at this time, I'm actually so grateful for that person, because if it wasn't for going through something where I got nothing that I wanted, I would not have had the will to fight for everything that I want and for everything that I have right now. Okay? If it wasn't for this person, I probably would still be at home. Not that there's anything wrong with living at home, but you guys know your parents are annoying as fuck. But I would probably still be living at home, comfortable as fuck, chilling, no ambitions, but there is this sense of coming out of this. It's like, am I going to be the victim? And am I going to, cry and say my life is over and fall into a depression, which I did, and it's normal? Or am I going to finally look in the mirror and know who the fuck I am? And know that just because things happen in a certain way, it doesn't dictate who you are in the future. You can't give people that sort of power. This person told me I would amount to nothing. They told me I would have multiple children with multiple people and just be this broke person living on, all this government assistance, and that my life was fucked. And nothing gives me more motivation than someone telling me that I can't do something. And that's where my life really took off. So there's a sense of realizing what the problem is, guys, and then realistically, how are you going to get yourself out of it? Okay? You have to find something in your life that is not attached to a person. I'll repeat that is not attached to a person. Don't use a person as an anchor to your happiness. That's the worst fucking mistake you could ever make. But find something in your life, aside from a person, that gives you so much joy. For me, it was dancing. I danced all my life, and I remember, I know this is fucked up, but like if I had to break up with someone, or if I had to make like a super tough decision, I would do it right before dance class. because 2-3 hours later when I came out, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck at all. And although the dancer is still in me, and that's still something I do all the time, just to chill and unwind and let the stresses of the day just go, I make sure that I stay active and that I keep moving. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're going to be dealing with heavy emotions, and it's just something you have to go through. And I want you guys to really deal with it in a heavy way. I don't want you to be in a place where you're like self-medicating and you're just like numbing yourself, because honestly, you could self-medicate for a year, 2-3 years straight. But then guess what? One day when you want to say, look, I'm taking a quits on this and I'm not going to do this anymore, that's when shit is going to hit you. So I don't want you guys to prolong the healing and the lesson that you have to go through. Okay? Find something that makes you happy. Get moving. When you're depressed, when you're feeling stagnant, it's because you need to fucking move. Okay? And I'm not talking about walking to work and walking back, although that would be a good thing if you don't normally walk to work. But go for a run, go for a hike. And it's not just even for the physicality of it, it's just to release. You have to release that tension somehow. And if you guys let it build and build and build, it will slowly eat you alive. And you don't want that. You guys have to be stronger than the problem. You guys have to be stronger than anything that a person has said to you. And if you guys were really on, I want you to be honest with yourself. How much did you have to, add to this? Because it takes two to tango in most cases. If someone treats you like shit, most likely you weren't an angel 100% of the time either. Whether they pushed you to or not, that's a different story. But, we can all exude these, negative shadow aspects of us. But honestly, like, what is it that's going to make you feel better? Okay? You guys have to remove yourselves from this. Okay? It's just, this isn't something that you would want for a person that you love. So you shouldn't want it for yourself. Okay? So guys, find a way to heal. Find a way to remember who you are, and realize that the way that a person treats us is a reflection of all the pain that they went through. And now when I look back at this person that put me through all of that, and I couldn't see it at the time, I hated them, guys. I despise this person, and there's still a pain in my in my ass when I have to deal with them, but there's no animosity there, because I realized, I'm like, holy shit, you went through a lot of fucked up shit. You experience so much evil things, and it's just like, how can a person love if they don't come from a place of love? So you have to look at that, guys. All right, everyone in this world is going through some sort of struggle. We're all going through some sort of pain. All right, the problem is that some of us take that out on other people. Okay, so realize that if a person was shitty to you, it's probably because they're going through a lot of shit. All right, so find healing, find a way to forgive the tool that the universe used to teach you the lesson that you had to learn. And I promise you guys that these lessons that we go through are not for nothing. Okay, obviously there's a sense of the universe trying to teach you lessons, where if you go through something heavy like this and then you see another person that they remind you just of this, but you decide to go towards them anyways, yeah, you can still get the same shit happening to you. But once you learn your lesson, whatever that lesson has to be, because we all have our different degrees of things, and mine was just wanting to control a situation that was out of my control. But once you're able to learn your lesson, the level of pain, the degree of pain that you went through is going to be a direct correlation of the benefits and of the success that comes out of it. Okay? I didn't understand, why the universe, why God put me through that. And it's because it's like, I've always had this feeling where it's like, Lissette, you're meant to do something big. So you need to go through the tough stuff early so that you can help others. Okay? So I'm so grateful for it. And it's funny because I have, a lot of my older subscribers. I'm only 28 years old, guys. But I have a lot of my older subscribers, people who are grandparents and stuff. And a lot of people will be surprised by the stuff that I say. But honestly, not only do I feel like I'm an old soul, but the degree of pain that I went through at such a young age, like this happened around like 19, 20 years old. I have spoken to people that in their lifetime, they haven't gone through that. People in their 60s, 70s. So is it great that I have that empathy because of what I went through? Yes. Do I wish that on anybody? Absolutely not. Okay, so just know that we can't control everything in life, but we can control being respected, being in a place where we feel good and we're valued. So if you're not getting that, get up and get the fuck out, guys. All right, you don't deserve that. And nobody deserves to be in that position, even if it's coming from you. Okay, we got to look at both sides of the scale. So a lot to think about, Cancer. I'm glad I did this reading for you guys. Okay, it was definitely a good talk. But I will be back in April, guys, with your April readings. I do love you guys, and I want to say thank you so much again for those of you who have been with me, especially from the beginning. I started my channel about 2 years ago now. Yeah, I'm about to hit 100K, so that's going to be a huge milestone for me. So for those of you who have been liking, subscribing, telling your friends about it, those purchasing readings, questions, all of that, I really, really love you guys, and I appreciate everything that you do and the support that you get, because this has truly, changed my life, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. So I will speak to you guys soon, and again, remember, High Vibrations 44 if you guys have Instagram. Take care, guys.